Hi, I'm Shannon Cyr, and I am the relationship coach for men. Today, I want to talk to you about your marriage and how it's working for you. If you're here, chances are that you feel like your marriage isn't working. Maybe you're looking for some answers. Now, I hear from people weekly, almost daily, really, that tell me that their marriage isn't working and they really don't know what to do to fix it. So here's the thing. It may be a bit confusing at first, or it may make you feel a little bit defensive, but hear me out. We only do things because it serves us in some way. So good things, bad things, things that feel good, things that don't, things that bring us results. So how is what you're doing in your marriage now working for you right now? That may be a really difficult question to answer, and you may be thinking that you're not doing anything at all that's working for you. So let me explain, as it is kind of hard to follow at first. So I have a client who I'm going to refer to as Mark. And Mark was really struggling in his marriage, and he had been for at least 7 years, if not longer, really. I mean, as long as he could remember. And one time, he and his wife were set to go out of town. Mark had planned a weekend away for them so they could try to, fix things, kind of work on the marriage. It was one of those attempts to kind of rekindle the relationship. And he felt like going away would really give them some alone time together. And maybe it would be a chance to bring them closer together. Now, at the last minute, Mark's wife changed plans. She said that, she wasn't going to be able to go because there was a work emergency. And he felt really, upset about that. He felt rejected. He felt disappointed. But really, he said, he felt like there was just something else that was more important than he was, again. And he felt like that she was choosing something else and not him. And so, most of us can probably think, yeah, I can understand how he might get there. But here's what happened in the relationship. So many, many times before this, Mark had felt disappointed or rejected when his wife would change plans or not show up to functions that were, really important to him, reject his sexual advances, just a number of other situations. And he never really said anything about it when this would happen. And he never really opened up to her about how he felt. So he kind of had that experience of feeling rejected again and again. And this latest one was just sort of the final straw. He was just no longer willing to put himself out there. He didn't want to try to plan anything. He didn't want to try to initiate sex. He no longer really even wanted to put himself in a position where, he might just be vulnerable. So he pretty much just kind of shut down. He wasn't happy in his marriage. He wasn't willing to express what he needed. And he wasn't going to open up to his wife really about any of it. So as you can imagine, the relationship really didn't get much better. In fact, it probably got a little bit worse. He had started feeling the discord of it long ago and really started building up little resentments over time. And now it had reached a point of disconnect that he just didn't even want to try anymore. So, how does this work for him? You're probably thinking it doesn't at all, right? So here's how it served him. Mark had not really been ready to face a rejection again. The relationship was disconnected. He'd been feeling like roommates or friends, but just not connected lovers. And, this was not working in the relationship, but it was working for him because it kept him safe. He could keep that story about how the marriage had grown apart because it had. And he didn't have to open himself up. He didn't have to share his desires or have to hear answers that, he maybe really didn't want to hear. He didn't have to make himself vulnerable and put himself out there and potentially face rejection. So by shutting down and not engaging, he didn't have to risk anything. So maybe there's something in your marriage that isn't working, and that's why you're here. So how is that thing that's not working in your relationship actually working for you in some way? I know it feels contradictory, like I don't want this and it's not working for me, but remember, we only do things because it serves us in some way. So how is it serving you? I hope this is helpful for you and you gain some insight. I would love to hear about it, so please respond in the comments and give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel because I come out with new content every week to help you get really clear about your marriage and whether or not it is something that can feel good again, or if it might be time to lovingly release it. All my best.